This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We are back, and that means 2 hours of all kinds of sports talk just for you right here on 1480 KRAE. Being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne on Cary Avenue, Yellowstone Road, Del Range and Ridge, Pershing and Ridge, and, of course, the food truck being operated right there at the parking lot at the Outlaw Saloon as the South Greeley Dress. Almost done. But 2 words to say for Taco John's today: Taco Tuesday. Pretty simple drill. And all Taco John's of Cheyenne. We want to thank Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Again, AJ and the crew invite you to come on by. Just a limited number of 19s left. The 20s are on the lot. Matter of fact, saw somebody driving off with a 2020 Telluride yesterday. Oh, my. It looks like a great ride. So, again, check out everything a Kia has to offer for you over on Nation Way, Key of Cheyenne. Platte Valley Bank ×2 on Vanda High, and, of course, at the corner of College and Pershing. Again, banking with all kinds of amenities associated with it at Platte Valley Bank. Again, high technology, old-fashioned customer service. They do it all for you at Platte Valley Bank. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Powers Field and Menards. Again, mac and cheese on the menu right now. That goes perfect with your chicken sandwich and your waffle fries. And maybe you want to try, because it's here only for a limited time, a few more days, their frosted caramel coffee. So again, enjoy all of the goodies from Ray and Cindy's Place. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, Del Range, across from Powers Field and Menards. Medicare Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs with your doctor's prescription. See Gene Barber and his great staff today. You can shop inside, open Monday through Saturday, and again, use a convenient drive-thru also Monday through Saturday. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Your home for Maytag, your home for GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, and others. Again, been in our community over 50 years. And you know what? B&B Appliance and TV, they service what they sell. Or maybe you need their service department. They'll come on out. They'll fix it for you. Trust me. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Steve Bruce and the crew today. Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Now, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard, the Auto Body Shop, can be found on Dunn Avenue for over a quarter century. Nick Lennox, along with his daughter Heather, they have been bringing us quality workmanship along with all kinds of other goodies for you at Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. So, again, see them today. Again, serving our community for over 25 years. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. And again, they are offering some fantastic CD rates right now with annual percentage yields. Talk to your good friends over at First Tier Bank today. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Paisan cuisine at its best 7 days a week. For almost 5 decades, Joe Mondello, along with his great staff and family, they have brought the family recipes over here to Cheyenne, and again, delicious eats and treats all the time from our friends over at Mondello's Pizzeria. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, open 7 days a week. And at Scoreboard Time is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go to Nick.
Recapping this weekend's action with LCCC Athletics. Again, we'll make this kind of abbreviated, unfortunately, since we were not able to pass along, at least on yesterday, since we did not have a show. But LCCC men's and women's soccer in action. They were on the road Friday at Western Nebraska Community College and Saturday's games at Northeastern Junior College. For the men, they got 2 wins. First up, it was 6-0 in favor of LCCC against Western Nebraska, 2-1 in favor, at least against Northeastern Junior College. So with those 2 wins, LCCC men's soccer, they are 9-3 overall. For LCCC women's soccer, they found a 1-0 victory against Western Nebraska on Friday. Saturday's game, they won 6-1. So with those victories for LCCC women's soccer, they are 10-0-1 overall and still number 4 in the nation. LCCC women's volleyball in action as well this weekend. They were here in town. Friday's game hosting Western Wyoming Community College, where they lost that set 3-1. Saturday's games against Central Wyoming College, where they won that 3-1. So with that being said, LCCC women's volleyball is 4-19 overall. They do have a game coming up tonight at Western Nebraska Community College. There in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. It is a 7 o'clock at least start time there for LCCC women's volleyball. Looking at NHL action for tonight, a few games on the slate. You will see the Anaheim Ducks. They will travel to Detroit to see the Red Wings. Golden Knights of Vegas, they are at home. They will host the Boston Bruins there at T-Mobile Arena. Florida Panthers at home. They will host the Carolina Hurricanes. Islanders of New York, they will take on the Edmonton Oilers. The Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh, they will take on the Winnipeg Jets. Dallas Stars travel out to the nation's capital to see the Washington Capitals. Coming up tonight, Nashville Predators in Smashville at Bridgestone Arena. They will take on the San Jose Sharks. And last but not least, the Calgary Flames. They will be up north, and they will host the L.A. Kings. That's what's happening. NHL action for tonight. And do want to remind folks, high school football action here on 1480 KRAE coming up this Friday, as we will have Battle of the Capital City Bowl between Cheyenne East and Cheyenne Central. East hosting this game over at Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. It is a 6 o'clock kickoff, 5:30-ish tentative pregame show here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming, as always, on the Periscope side via Twitter and also to our 1480 KRAE YouTube channel.
Major League Baseball. I got one game and one game only, and it is the Astros and the Rays. As the Rays live to see another day, they'll be in the Trop this evening. They will play host to Houston. Justin Verlander will get the call for the Astros to hopefully wrap up this series. He'll be opposed by Diego Castillo. The Astros leading this best of 5 in ALDS. 2 games won. The Yankees punched their ticket last night by sweeping the Twins in 3 straight. Tomorrow, it will be back to Atlanta or Cumberland, Georgia, as the Braves will entertain St. Louis, and the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine will host the Washington Nationals. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi.
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480KRAE.com.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 73 and winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 40. On Wednesday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 63. And on Wednesday night, it'll be cloudy skies with snow showers likely with lows around 17.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and Larry Perotti, along with Nick Perotti, and our very special guest, longtime soccer coach, both in the high school ranks as well as with LCCC, again in his final season. And boy, oh boy, what a final season it's becoming right now for the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles. We're talking with Jim Gardner and Coach 10-0-1, number 4, nationally ranked. I don't know. I know you always have high expectations, you and Coach Valdez, but is this team where you want it to be right now?
At this point in time, I think we're where we want to be. I don't think where we need to be. We've still got a young team that's got a lot of growing to do. We've done well for where we're at, but as we play teams and we make mistakes we shouldn't make, we realize that when we play higher level or good teams regionally and nationally, that we may struggle. So we've got a long way to go, but pretty proud of where we're at.
When you say growing, and I always think of the word immaturity, so I don't want to use that as a bad context here with your team, but is growing still that part of the maturation process?
Sure. I think inexperience, of two groups of kids, freshmen and sophomores that haven't played together, both significant with sophomores in the starting position and freshmen, where you don't have that mix yet. We're pretty good for where we're at, and I'm happy with it, but I still think we've got a long way to go. Defensively, if we don't fix things or play the way we're supposed to, we could be exposed by some better teams.
So looking back at this weekend, again, as I mentioned, 2 games at Western Nebraska Community College where you got away with a close one, 1-0 against the Lady Cougars, and Sunday's contest down in Sterling taking on Northeastern Junior College, where it basically was just business as usual for LCCC, winning in a big fashion 6-1. But what was kind of the issue, or at least go back to that Friday game, that close one with Western Nebraska Community College? What did you see in that contest, even though you did get the eventual W in that contest?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Sometimes, Becky says, my assistant coach, you got to win ugly sometimes. She uses that phrase a lot, and I think we did. We weren't prepared mentally, I don't think. We'd been playing some easy games, and some of the teams we'd beaten had beaten Western Nebraska pretty handily, and so I think hard, maybe overlooked a little bit, and we got there, 30-mile-an-hour winds and long grass, and I don't think we were ready for any of that. So a little bit of adversity that we weren't prepared for made us have to take a look at ourselves, and I'm pretty happy that we scored at halftime. I think we scored with like 12 seconds left, but if we wouldn't have, I'm not sure we'd have come out with a win on that or a tie. So looking back, it was a good experience for us, made us wake up a little bit and realize that we can't just go out and play halfway. We got to play all the way each time we get on the field.
And the fortunate enough thing for LCCC now is where it seems like for a good amount of September and partial of October, you've been on the road away from at least Cheyenne, at least snuck away for at least 2 contests here in town. But now coming up this weekend, now barring the weather, but we talked with you a little bit off air on what's going to happen coming up this weekend. But 2 games upcoming, especially Friday's game against Trinidad State Junior College. That is set for 4 o'clock here in town as LCCC takes on that team. But with the impending snow and the at least upcoming cold that's supposed to hit us in that kind of random fashion here in October, understanding that game time, at least date and time, is going to change upcoming for this weekend for that game.
Yeah, I think right now we're looking at we're going to cancel the Friday games and we're going to move them to Sunday. So the Trinidad games we play against Trinidad on Friday, we're supposed to be at 4 and 6, 2 and 4, 2:30 and 4. I can't even talk. 1:30 and 4, and then on Sunday they're going to be at noon and 2:30.
Coach, I want to ask you this: getting away from the soccer activity on the field, and there's been talk that may go to the NCAA. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to filter down to the NJCAA. But again, it's going to sometimes mirror what goes on with the four-year institutions. But the talk is now about student athletes and their name being used for apparel or whatever the case may be. The question is, do you foresee, if that does make it through the NCAA, that it will filter down to the JUCOs?
Man, that's a complex question nationally, with California driving that and the NCAA looking at it. I suspect at some point it'll filter all the way down. I think it'll be a while, simply because of the nature of junior college and how far removed we are from the big-time money athletes that come out of there. So, yeah, I think it might come, but I don't think it's going to come anytime fast. And by the time it does, I think we'll have time to prepare for it because of all the things that are going above in the NCAA 1, 2, 3.
Are you a proponent or opponent of that possible activity going on, in the NCAA? Again, California brings it to the table. I understand Florida is also jumping on board with this. So, I mean, it's going to eventually end up into the hands of the apostles there in Kansas City.
Yeah, I think I'd have to fall on the side where I'm more against it than I am for it. I'm more of a purist in sports and think college sports should be for the athletes. It's really hard to overlook the fact that they're being used and there's so much money being made by the college sports that some of the athletes are not getting their due maybe. But I really hate to see it go that way because they're just going to be that much closer to college or professional sports. And what are we looking at the college? I think you watch NBA and you watch college, you watch football and the NFL and you watch college. There's such a huge difference. And I'm more of a fan of the college than I am the professional. So I'd like to see it stay that way, but politics and money might get in the way of that.
Yeah. How much of, at least, does that play a factor, again, as we just kind of look into this, if it is a possibility? But again, here we are, Cheyenne, Wyoming, again, kind of small city, largest city here in the state of Wyoming. But, on the JUCO side of things, where you are competing against other community colleges or junior colleges around the nation that are in major cities, could take advantage of that, hey, let's go to the local, sports card store, have you sign a few autographs, here's some bucks, or they find ways to get monies or find advantages in those kind of larger markets. Would that be an issue in your mind regarding recruiting, getting at least young athletes out to LCCC? Could that be a possibility that also hurts what is already a legendary program at LCCC with both men's and women's soccer, again, LCCC volleyball and both the basketball squads? Could that be an issue in kind of your eyes?
Yeah, it's going to be an issue if it comes to that. That's really nothing I've never thought of, with our kids being able to sign a baseball card and somebody give them a couple bucks for that. Kind of takes away from the idea of what we're at the junior college level and giving people extra chances. I don't know if we'd get that kind of kid if we went to that. So it's a complex question that I guess time will tell, but I don't really know how it's going to play out at that level.
Without a doubt, but at least to focus back on your team, though,
That's
Coach.
what I want to go back
absolutely,
to. I appreciate your opinion.
Yeah.
No, because
it's a hot topic right now.
It is. I mean, it is.
From you to Craig, at least Coach Craig Bohl, everyone's getting asked this question.
It's spreading like wildfire.
Yeah, without a doubt. But going back to your squad right now, again, 10-0-1 on the season, still more games remaining before we get into Region 9 at least tournament and before at least any other postseason activity for LCCC women's soccer, which we do hope so in this at least 2019 campaign. But, we look at the polls. You've basically been in the top 5 consistently throughout this 2019 campaign. You still sit at number 4 overall in the nation. Coach, as we talk about with a few other entities around this area, a few other at least teams that have been ranked or, again, get that national love, what does it mean to you? Again, you being this head coach at LCCC for quite some time, you've seen a lot of teams, get in the rankings, have phenomenal seasons, make it to the national tournament, but does it really mean anything to you? Is it something that is at least a rallying cry for your young ladies at LCCC? Do you use that number 4 to say, yes, look, the nation gives us respect?
At this point, as far as respect, I don't really care about that. What it does for us is it gives us a better path to the national tournament. The last couple of years, there have been an at-large bid, and we made it to the national tournament on that. With how we did at the beginning of the season, with that ranking, and with how we finish at the end of the season, it gives us a much better chance to make the national tournament. So, yeah, being 4th is a big deal. If you are 4th, then when you get to the national tournament, you get an extra day's rest. In the last I don't know, 8 or 9 years, there's only been one team that I know of that has not been in the top 4 that's made it to the semifinals, so it's a really big deal. But as far as the respect and things you get, that comes nationally with being at that level, but I don't like our kids to focus on that because it can be taken away in a matter of one loss. So sometimes they're afraid of the fear of losing sometimes at being at that costs you more problems than it's worth. So I don't like to put a lot of emphasis on it as far as the ranking itself, just the fact that at the end of the year it does help us.
We use the term 10-0-1, and again, a lot of folks right now are like, wow, that's pretty impressive. But you going back to our earlier conversation, you said you still need to grow a little bit. So let's go on both sides of the ball right now as you put it down at midfield. Offensively, defensively, strengths and weaknesses. What are our strengths? And again, it's not how you play today. It's how you play when it comes tournament time, and that's the rule for football, for basketball, any type of athletic event. You want to make sure your team is peaking at the right time. So, what do they need to do on the offensive side as opposed to the defense?
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's always what counts at the end. You're exactly right. I think strength-wise, we're very fast, we're very athletic, and we're a team that is getting better at the possession side in the middle, and that's something we can work at. I think the biggest problem we have right now is defensively, we're not playing together as a unit. We have some really fast and strong individuals, but as a team, we're not there defensively. I think once we get there, it's going to be much harder to beat us, and we beat some good teams early, so I'm pretty happy with that. I just see it as I know from past years where we've been and the type of teams we've had. This one's as close to being one of the best we've had, but I think that's a little chink in our armor that some coaches are going to take a look at when they watch video. I think overall we're able to score. We've scored against some of the best teams in the country, and so if we hold people out to 1 or 0 goals, I think we can come away with the win.
Coach, we know this is your last season, but also, too, it's time that the high school seniors are looking for another challenge, and hopefully they get that opportunity to move on to whether it's a JUCO or to a 4-year institution. Are you, even though they know that this is your last season, are you still getting inquiries about moving ahead towards the next season?
Yeah, I've had several inquiries, and we've had several kids on campus already. That is kind of surreal for me to sit back and talk to kids and look at my position as if I'm coaching that the kid, or thinking that kids are going to be here when I'm not. So when I talk to them, we go through things that the program's known for, but it's hard for me to say this is what you're going to get because Coach Gardner's been doing it that way when a new coach is going to come in. So their options are, I think they're a good player. I've got a reputation of that. The college is okay with me signing kids. So I talk to the kid and say, you can sign now. The offer that I give you at November 1st, the signing date, is what you're going to get. Or you can wait till there's a new coach and decide if that's the person you want. But then again, that coach may not want you. And so it's a double-edged sword for that kid and very difficult decision.
And how many available scholarships will be available for next season?
Well, that depends on how good I am at recruiting.
Okay, so a plethora then,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe. Right now, about half the money we have available, maybe just a hair less, is available to the new coach. But if I sign a few kids, that goes down. The idea is not for me to sign the whole team, but to sign enough where they have a base. The team that's coming back is pretty talented, so that helps. And if I can get them numbers to begin with, then maybe they can go out and get the special players that they need.
We are talking with LCCC Lady Golden Eagles head coach Jim Gardner, soccer coach, and we're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back. We've got more right here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
B&B Appliance and TV has been your locally owned appliance store for 49 years. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
Family owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Come one, come all to the 3rd Annual Fall Halloween Festival Farmers and Crafters Market presented by family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. This annual event will be Saturday, October 19th from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. at 8908 Yellowstone Road. It's only $5 entry per carload. There will be plenty of vendors and crafters, hay rides, pumpkins, straw and corn stalks for sale, along with crafts for kids, fall and Halloween gift items, and a whole lot more, including food vendors serving up delicious eats. All youngsters are encouraged to wear their Halloween costumes too. So mark it down and plan to attend a fun day at the 3rd Annual Fall Halloween Festival Farmers and Crafters Market, Saturday, October 19th from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Brought to you by Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne.
Relieve your stress. I'm A.J. Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. With a new Kia vehicle, you get one of the best warranties in America. The new 2019 Kia Sorento comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. 2019 Kia Sorento gives you up to 122 cubic feet of cargo space, 7-passenger seating, available all-wheel drive, and wireless charging for your devices. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today as we have head coach Jim Gardner in, LCCC women's soccer coach. We also have coach in as well, and again, being an educator for many, many years in Laramie County School District number 1. And LCSD number 1 recently introduced a survey on their website that asked for input on middle-level courses. And when you open it up, you find that the readers asked to give their opinion about elective courses in 7th and 8th grade. I'm not going to go any further on that. Coach, tell us a little bit what the heck is going on, and again, pass along your thoughts, because again, you know, your opinion is your opinion.
Yeah, about a month ago, the school district came up with a vote where they're going to change the basically the schedule of junior high, 7th and 8th grade. And they're going to go from a block schedule to a regular core classes with 6 periods during the day, and they're going to be about 56 minutes long. So they're going to go to a middle-level philosophy rather than a junior high. At least that's the way it's presented on the website, and the people that I've talked to is that we want to go to a middle level, which I agree with, and I think that's the best way to go. The thing is that they have a survey up, and they're asking for people to give their opinions on a variety of different electives. In fact, there's 17 electives they can go to right now that they can pick from, and I think the max they can take is 3. So you've got Spanish and French and PE and health and band and orchestra and all those kinds of things that kids do to supplement their core classes. And the reason this is being driven is because of 7th and 8th grade, our scores have been low for the last few years, and the school district's trying to come up with a way to make our junior highs score better in the state on the new tests that they have. And when you go to the survey, I don't think people realize that one of the options that's going to happen is, if they don't get enough interest, is that physical education right now is a required course. It will go to an elective. So The other thing is that I don't think people know that PE and health are taken together, and this separates out PE and health, making 2 electives instead of just 1. And the third thing, I'm not sure people know what middle level is, and that maybe our district's really not going to middle level philosophy, more of a schedule change.
So we go from, as you say, 6 periods. Now, that's the way I'll look at it. It was 7 periods, and gym or PE was always required. Are you telling me that PE is no longer required?
Well, it's a possibility. The school district hasn't made any decisions, and that's one of the things that superintendent and the school board will tell you is that they're trying to figure out how they want to do it. Right now, all they've done is vote to go to a 6-period or 7-period day, and nothing else right now. But this survey is a big deal because it's going to give them some ideas of what the public thinks. If the public doesn't come out and think that physical education is that important, I do think that they'll go away and say that, it's not something in the public interest. We've got so many electives. Why should one elective be ahead of the others like physical education? And they'll move away from that. And I think once they do that, we'll not likely ever get it back. And where will our kids be without physical activity? And there's tons of things we can go on to with brain research and physical activity and health, but it's quantitative research that seems to be common knowledge that if you take it away, academically we're not going to do it well, and health-wise, obviously, we're not going to do as well.
And again, it's something surprising that, again, we appreciate you at least, again, got a text from you, I do believe, over the weekend, at least notifying about what was going on here with Laramie County School District number 1 of this survey. And again, we appreciate you giving us that information about this. But in this day and age where we are health conscious, we are very health at least forward thinking, you think of the gluten-frees of the world and, hey, we got to hit the gym and we know that this is all important. It's just surprising that, that Laramie County School District number 1 is looking into this as a possibility. Now, Coach, we'll ask you on this situation, is this something that is only here in our school district, or is it something that's been looked around the entire state of Wyoming?
Well, our school district is one of the few that still has a 7th and 8th. There's others around the district or the state that do, but most of the schools and school districts have gone to the middle level philosophy or concept already. It used to be the middle school concept, and now it's called the middle level concept. And sometimes that's 6, 7, 8, sometimes it's 7, 8, 5, sometimes it's 5 through 8, and it varies throughout the state. But we're trying to go to that philosophy to try and change our scores, and other schools have already done it, and maybe that's where they're at because they're not doing the block schedule that I don't think's done our kids any favor, and they've already been on the regular traditional schedule, so to speak. And we'll go from there, I hope.
And here's your chance, Coach, to at least kind of voice your opinion on this. Again, as you talked about, hey, we can go in depth on what is the scientific research of the benefits of PE and what it does for kind of development, at least development of youth in across the nation, across the world. But give your opportunity right here to kind of speak your mind of what does it mean, PE as a required course for our young students here in the city of Cheyenne and Laramie County School District number 1. Why should it remain as a required course for our students here in town?
Yeah, that's $1 million question. I think there's 2 schools of thought. I know there's people who've grown up and didn't like physical education and had a hard time with it. I think since I've been involved in the school district, which is 40 years, that it's always been a required subject where none of the others have been a required subject. So it's something that we valued and should continue to value over the period of time that I've been around. Before that, I know at some point it wasn't a requirement, but that's a long time ago. So with the research that goes out that talks about brain activity, with the research that goes out, we've got all the obesity rates, the diabetes rates, we've got all the health issues, the sexual problems, and vaping and smoking, and just the whole idea of 11 and 12 not having health and not having the opportunity to move during the day, I think is going to be detrimental or adversely affect our academics as well. Physical activity is connected to academics and our brain growth as we move through, not only as child when we're small and we do play, but also as we get older, we still need that time for our brain synapses to connect. And the research shows that physical activity does that during the day, rather when you sit, it takes twice as long or even longer to make those synapses fire and make them connect.
I think back, and again, Coach, not to age us a little bit, but I think back in those days where you did a lot during your PE course. Maybe for about 3 weeks you did gymnastics, and for 3 weeks you played softball, and for 3 weeks you played basketball, swam, whatever the case may be. Where is this coming from? This can't be Laramie County School District number 1 or the state of Wyoming. Is this a national trend that's coming down the pike? Or trying to?
It's nationally that way already. I mean, there are a lot of school districts that don't have PE and rely on recess to get it done in the elementary schools, and they don't have any requirements for PE in the junior high or high school. You're seeing a lot of that turn around, that it's coming back, that they found out what a mistake they made, and they're putting PE back in. You know, in our school district, it's been valued, and I still think it is valued. I don't want to put the impression that the school districts made a decision, because they haven't. I'm trying to help it out so that we don't get to that point where we're at. And there's some alternatives to it. You know, the first option is that we have 2 electives. One of them's core class is going to be PE, and then you have 1 elective or whatever you want to go to. Another one is we go to an A-B schedule. You make PE an elective, and it's an A-B, so it's what we've got right now. Instead of having it every day, it's every other day. And then there's another one where they have what they call an advisory period, which is kind of like homeroom, which usually in the districts turns out to be, you know, no curriculum, no set plans for the teachers. You know, they watch different things on TV, or it turns into homework session. And that could be a spot where they take that 30 minutes, put it into the day, and then you have another elective you could add. So there's options that the school district's looking at. The least acceptable would be to make PE and health an elective and then separate them out so you have PE and health. And I think the kids that need it the most would probably never choose to take it, whereas the kids who are in sports would be the ones who may not need it as much. They would be the ones who'd sign up, and it seems like we'd have problems health-wise and physical-wise. You know, everybody's looking at 60 minutes a day, and if we take that away from our schools, I don't think there's any way that we'll get moderate or vigorous activity out of our kids.
Well, it definitely is a culture change of here and now in kind of the 2000s, even 2010s of, you know, here we are in the digital age of, hey, you know, we're talking about esports. Again, I'm nothing against esports or anything like that, but that is kind of the new growing trend of we are moving to that electronic sport. Again, digital with iPads, cell phones, smartphones, laptops at least every, you know, fingertip accessible to, you know, at least our students around the nation. Is it a situation? Here's kind of the $1 million question for you, Coach Gardner. Of, you know, we talk about PE now moving from, or at least thought of going from the requirement to now an elective, where hey, some students may not take it, some have the option to. It's really up to their discretion. Is it a situation that is PE no longer fun for these young students? Is it something that needs to change at least in that classroom or in that gym, or however to get them out of, you know, combining technology with the physical education? Again, just kind of give your thoughts on what would need to change to kind of get everyone on board, to get these students involved, understand that this is beneficial for them in the long term.
That's a really good question. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think we have to look inwards, too, at why kids don't want to take PE, and why at sometimes, you know, PE teachers are looked at, throw out the ball, that's all they do, and the kid goes out and plays. I think an organized physical education with a talented physical education teacher that's, you know, trained and does what they're supposed to do. I think for a long time we've had a culture in the junior highs that we've had teachers that may not have done what they're supposed to do, haven't really gone out and thought about how our kids are going to be in physical education. I think that's what we have to look at inwards. I also think it's an administration problem that has allowed that to go on and allowed teachers to be not at their best over a long period of time. That's affected, you know, a generation. If I've been there 40 years, there have been other teachers that have been in 40 years, and if we've had bad teaching going on that long that perpetuates itself throughout the junior high, is now not the time to change that, to make sure that if we are going to do this, then our physical education teachers need to have some accountability to what they're teaching and how it gets taught to those, so no child has to go in the bathroom and cry because they have to go to, that they're going to be bullied in PE, that our teachers understand that, and we have a curriculum that's designed to get our kids moving and active, and a health program that teaches them how to deal with all the social things that are going on around them. And that's so important for 11, 12, 13-year-old.
You know, I'm looking at this and listening to all of the conversation, but it also tells me if this became an elective, And as you mentioned, the high technology world, where a lot of people would not want this. Just hear me out on this, Coach. Would that eliminate positions? Because if there's not enough people wanting to go out for physical education or using that as an elective, why do we need coaches or PE instructors teaching physical ed? I mean, that's what they went to college for, to get that degree in physical education. I mean, is that something where we're trying to cut back on budgets and weed out the physical education instructors?
That's a very astute question. The administration and the school board will tell you that they're not going to fire anybody, that this is not a way to reduce budget. But I think when you look at the whole picture, that's obviously going to happen. Over a period of time, we're not going to fire anybody. We're going to move people around from the junior high to the high school, where we may have more teachers than we need for a while. But eventually, you're going to see that we don't have as much of a need, and that position is going to fade away, just attrition.
Now,
that's going to go away.
And to interrupt you, most of our coaches are physical instruction teachers. So, in addition to getting their coaching certificate, they got their degree in PE, whatever the case may be. What message does that send to that profession as well?
Well, that's another tail end.
Another slippery slope.
Slope. It's already kind of that way. When I first came into the district in the early 80s, and you had McLeod and Rooney and, legends that have been around, Story and Okie, they were just going out. And everything revolved, physical education was, we hire a coach first, and then it doesn't matter what we teach, but we're going to get a coach in. Then for a long time in the 90s, and even up to this point, we've been at the point where we hire teacher first and then coach. So we've had that struggle already. We have several coaches that are in the elementary level. We have math teachers and, science teachers that have been awesome coaches. But physical education is where most of the coaches tend to go to, because those two things go together. So if we have less of those positions available at the junior high or the high school, then you're going to see more coaches having to be more diverse. They may not be the best coach, but they can teach science, or they can fit into social studies or math, because we can't plan a job for them. So it's a double-edged sword. Depends on what the philosophy of the district, how good you want your teams to be versus how good you want your education to be, or both.
So what do we, with this survey, when are answers going to be available to, A, your profession, B, the general public?
The survey closes Sunday, so I would advise as many people out there, and I'm going to say, if you're for physical education, you need to go out and make that your first choice. If you're not, then you need to go out there and make your thoughts known, that maybe it needs to go away if that's what our public feels. I'm going to go with that if that's what our survey. The survey is not a scientific survey, and I'm not sure what it's going to show, but I know that it's going to end this Sunday, and if we don't get on there and tell the school board and the administration what we want, that they'll come up with their own decisions based on maybe a variety of electives that get really no hits on it, because there's spread out so much. Nothing really is definitive. So I'm hoping that people will get on and do it. And when is it going to be available? I'm not sure, but I know they're moving fast. They're going to have this decided by January, because they got to have courses and the whole schedule ready for next year. So we're almost to November. I would say by November, December's Christmas, by January, you're going to see this decision made, and the public's not going to be able to go back and change it if they don't say something now.
And again, to find that survey online, as that's where it's posted on the website for Laramie County School District number 1, you go find by typing in the URL in your website browser, laramie1.org. That is the official website for Laramie County School District number 1. Again, laramie1.org is where you'll find that survey, and again, make your at least opinion and voices heard.
Coach, before we let you go, one last time, let's get back to you back on the field again, coaching. We may have, we are going to have some changes scheduling for this weekend, just simply for the fact we've got impending weather.
Yeah, the Friday games are moved to Sunday at noon and 2:30, and hopefully the weather, is still warm during that day. But who knows how much snow we're going to get at this time of the year? We're always so accurate with our weather forecast.
And Saturday still
still stays the same. We've got backup of East High that we can play out if the snow's bad, so we're planning on holding the games on Saturday and Sunday instead of Friday and Saturday.
All righty, Coach Jim Gardner joined us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Thanks so much for coming on in. Very informative, as always, in addition to the sports and what's going on with Laramie County School District number 1. We are going to take a time out. We'll be right back after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE-AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Family owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean, at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, the Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 73 and winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 40. On Wednesday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 63. And on Wednesday night, it'll be cloudy skies with snow showers likely with lows around 17.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and a big thank you again to Coach Gardner for joining us here. And again, very informative on both respects. As again, you know, as we keep up on LCCC women's soccer, again, number 4 nationally ranked, as you mentioned, Nick. And again, 10-0-1. And just in case weather happens, Friday's going to be moved to Sunday.
Yeah.
And then you go into what Coach Gardner did, as a profession, being part of Laramie County School District number 1, and possible changes that.
Well, again, it's not definitive. Again, this is a survey just to get their understanding. So again, it's not a finite thing. It is something that is still getting in its developmental stages. Again, that's why this survey is so important.
Let me say this: the new deal, as opposed to when your pop was in school, and I don't know how it was really when you were doing this. So you're 30 years removed from me, doing your thing at high school. But it seems like everything that they tried to implement keeps blowing up. And it's like what you need to do is maybe circle back, 180 back to what used to be okay.
Or is it something that school districts or educators are looking at, again, why look in the past when instead take the knowledge that you have and move forward in some way? Again, what that looks like, what you implement, I have no idea. Again, I'm not in that field, not in that profession. Again, best of luck to those who are as well. But it is something that, again, ironically, as we're talking about at least physical education being, kind of a elective more than a requirement to me, again, growing up, obviously in the high school ranks, it was an elective. It was up to you to decide of what you wanted. But, again, in my eye, again, obviously here we are talking sports, been a part of sports. Hey, physical education, it was kind of top of our books, so to speak, of yes, I'll take that. I'll gladly take physical education. It was, again, you figure in today's age, granted, again, technology does dominate, video games, with tablets, smartphones, all the gears and gadgets, which, again, I greatly appreciate it. Here we are in 2019. I love that we have advanced in that, at least, aspect in human life. But it does seem interesting that, yes, we are moving away from physical education, at least physical activity, where, you go in the old adage of going through school, you would take physical education because it was something that, hey, you didn't have to sit down and read a book. You weren't sitting down listening from a teacher or anything like that. It was, no, you were just getting up, going, playing basketball.
It was recreation.
Yeah, it was basically out there having fun and at least getting a little physical activity.
As opposed to the K through 6 schools back in the day.
It was, quote unquote, that easy A.
Well, no, it's not even the easy A, but that's your extended, quote, recess.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember how long recess was, 15, 20 minutes. I have no idea. But the point is, this would be an hour class, but also, too, when you were in PE, you were required to do some of the things that the physical education instructor wanted you to do, whether it was gymnastics or swimming or making layups, for basketball.
I think like we did like lacrosse at East and badminton, some of those kind of obscure sports.
And I think, too, you also had choices. Some of the guys that or folks that are not athletic.
It's not just in the gym. It's also too of, hey, there are weight room electives. Again, we're
exactly. That's what I'm driving.
Back when, at least back in my day at Cheyenne East, especially where it was taught by head coach Chad Goff, he was the head weight room instructor. It made sense of, okay, I'm going here to get a letter grade for this, but also, too, it helps me out in football or whatever else.
And say this for argument's sake. The jocks went and did weights. Larry, who's not a jock, went and played badminton, with certain instructor.
But again, you had options, without a doubt.
There was more physical education instructors that you would sign up for. Jocks, and again, and you don't have to be a jock, but maybe you were a bodybuilder and you could go.
I feel like in this day and age, we don't really have those. Again, it seems like even when I was going through school, and that was in the late 2000s, there weren't really those cliques. It was, where it kind of feels like
it's been like that. I'm sorry, I disagree with you.
I'm just saying. Let's be honest. In my experience, there weren't really those cliques. It was pretty much all inclusive of, There's going to be some of those fringe or those at least extremes on both sides of whatever it may be. But all in all, it's just hard to believe that, in this day and age of just where we are kind of in the realm of the world and how things are happening in this nation that, I get bullying still exists without a doubt. But it's just surprising that, again, educators or, it seems like there's been movement forward to at least eliminate that or basically kind of help out, but it's just
no. And I appreciate the fact that they're doing that. And again, too, there are those that go to school that don't want to be a part of the recreation process. Understand, but also too, it's still it's still your body still needs the recreation, the physical.
But is that the thing of where they might find, and again, I enjoyed math, I enjoyed science, enjoyed history. There was fun aspects in those classrooms by those teachers that found a way to implement that by various games or movies or whatever it may be. Is that something that PE is just kind of left behind at where, here it is, kick the ball, have fun, and whatever? Is it something that now PE needs to adapt to that, like the other, at least, academics across the nation, of you need to implement somehow technology into this to kind of get to those who are not at least kind of physical active in the realm?
I think
is it something that, yes, you need to encompass like some sort of video game aspect with it by putting it on, on a treadmill that gets them active like that to, again, make it in their mind fun? Is it something that we need to be more innovative?
I think there should be more attention to those that are not interested. I think more attention should be to them because, like Coach said, sometimes they just throw a ball out. Well, they're not, who cares?
Yeah.
Maybe somebody.
You got to make sure that everyone's engaged.
Make sure, somebody is there to, let them enjoy at least what's going on. And say, hey, this is it. We already know that these folks over here like the sport, and maybe there's somebody there who can advance them in their skills. But for those that don't like it or have never played it, have somebody there to teach it. That's what they are. They're teachers.
Yeah.
And that's what you get paid to be, teachers.
Well, that brings up also to another interesting topic as well, too, where, we talk about at least pay grades or at least salaries for teachers, which, again, you see across the nation in some stints where some say, hey, we need help. We're paying out of our own pocket for supplies, or we're trying to create up these new things, and it's coming out of our budget that we're not getting a whole lot of paid for. Again, we talk how many times with even the athletic directors on the high school side of things of they got to find ways to get budgets where budgets get tied on them sometimes from the school district, from the state of Wyoming. That trickles down even to educators, even with physical education, to even academic with math, science, history, whatever it may be. So that brings up its own other topic of conversation of, are those teachers really invested in looking into those new innovations because they would have to invest, or they're not paid enough to put in that time and effort?
Well, they go by this model, all children matter. So they better find a way to do it. And again, I don't know what the pay grades are and don't care. I always believe that instructors, aren't paid enough as it is. But that's just my opinion. But the thing is, all children matter, and whether you are that type of instructor, a physical education instructor, you should be able to take care of one side here, and those that are not that, that don't really care about it, but get them involved. And again, it's not like I pick Nick picks him, I pick so-and-so, and then, Larry's the last guy to get picked, and we don't need to do that anymore. No. But what we need to do is get the ball and let these guys over here play it and have somebody there to instruct, and we need these over here that are not really all that, quote, athletic, but you know what? You need the exercise. And let's teach you the exercise value by playing this game.
Because exercise in its core, yes, it is getting them active, and it is, you look at all the scientific studies, and even Coach Gardner talked about it, of the brain activity and what it does for the developing kind of body for these young students. But again, it also too teaches them of, hey, after you're done at school, that this is going to be beneficial for you, or at least this is how you take care of yourself to have a long-lasting life as well. That being a couch potato does not do you any good. It could have adverse effects. Again, you're teaching them in kind of subtle ways of, yes, to live a long, healthy life, here's what you need to do. This is what at least...
And here's what we'd like to teach you. Yeah. And again, be the instructor. That's it. All right, we do need to move to the top of the hour. We still got a lot of stuff to talk about we haven't even got into. But again, appreciate the comments from head coach Jim Gardner. And again, longtime instructor with Laramie County School District number 1. And again, check out that survey. You got it punched up still?
What do you mean? I don't have it punched up now, but it's laramie1.org.
Okay,
is where you find it.
All right. That's all I needed to know. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with hour number 2 right here on 1480 KRAE.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local. It's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Always get a chance to talk about our fine sponsors, and again, can't thank them enough. Mondello's Pizzeria, 7 days a week, Paisan cuisine at its best. Not corporate recipes. These are Joe's family recipes, and this is like sitting down and enjoying a great meal every time you visit Mondello's Pizzeria. Trust me. See Joe and the wonderful staff over there Monday through Sunday at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Cross the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Banking done the old-fashioned way. That means you. Customer service first and foremost. See Tim and the wonderful crew over at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Founded by Dick Lennox a quarter century ago, the tradition continues on. And just as it did back with Dick Lennox, Heather Lennox continues on with that great service and workmanship that you come to expect from Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Bruce and the crew invite you to come on by, check out all of the appliance on the showroom floor. Or if you need them to come by and fix one, you know, whatever is going on with the microwave or the dryer or the washer, hey, these guys are experienced and they do great work. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue, serving our community for over 50 years. Medicare Pharmacy on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. And again, Gene and the wonderful staff been doing this for a long, long time, not their first rodeo. So see them today on Bluegrass Circle, open Monday through Saturday. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Powers Field and Menards. And again, delicious eats and treats Monday through Saturday. And we're talking 3 squares, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all delicious all the time. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Del Range. Plant Valley Bank ×2, Banda High Avenue, and at the corner of College and Pershing. Rick and the wonderful staff say, come on by and see what they can do for you. Whether you want a checking account, a savings account, or you need a home loan or a remodel loan, or you want to see what's going on with all of the technology that Platte Valley Bank has installed, well, you know what? They can take good care of you always at Platte Valley Bank. We want to thank Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, and my good friend AJ and the wonderful staff over there say, hey, 19s must move, and the 20s are already here, and matter of fact, some 20s are already on the road here in Cheyenne. So again, see the great crew over at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. And Taco John's of Cheyenne, very simple, for KRAE Avenue, for our friends over on Yellowstone Road, for the corner of Pershing and Ridge, for Del Range and Ridge, and for the food truck over in the Outlaw Saloon parking lot. 2 words, Taco Tuesday. I say no more at all. Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway at Scoreboard Time. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
Recapping from this weekend with LCCC Athletics. LCCC men's and women's soccer on the road Friday and Saturday at Western Nebraska Community College on Friday, and Saturday's games at Northeastern Junior College. For the men's side of things, they got 2 victories against Western Nebraska, 6-0, and against Northeastern, 2-1. So with that being said, LCCC, with those 2 wins, they moved to 9-3 overall. For LCCC women's soccer, they found this was winning 1-0 against Western Nebraska and 6-1 against Northeastern. So with their 2 wins, they moved to 10-0-1 overall. For LCCC women's volleyball, they were in action as well this, at least Friday and Saturday here in town. They took on Western Wyoming, where they unfortunately lost that contest 3-1. Saturday's games against Central Wyoming College, where they won against that squad 3-1. So with that being said, LCCC women's volleyball, they are 4-19 overall. They do have a game coming up tonight in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, as they take on the Western Nebraska Community College Lady Cougars. That is set to kick off at 7 o'clock tonight. NHL action for this evening. You will see the Anaheim Ducks in Detroit taking on the Red Wings. Golden Knights of Vegas, they will be at T-Mobile Arena in Sin City. They play host to the Boston Bruins. The Florida Panthers at home, they will host the Carolina Hurricanes. Edmonton Oilers travel out to New York to see the Islanders. Pittsburgh Penguins at home, they will host the Winnipeg Jets. Dallas Stars travel to our nation's capital to take on the Washington Capitals at the Capital One Arena. Nashville Preds at Smashville at Bridgestone Arena play host of the San Jose Sharks. And up north, Calgary Flames will take on the L.A. Kings. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight. And do want to remind folks, coming up this Friday here on 1480 KRAE, we will have more high school football action as it is the Capital City Bowl between Cheyenne East and Cheyenne Central. East hosting this contest, where it will be a 6 o'clock kickoff, 5:30-ish tentative pregame show here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming as we do on Periscope via Twitter and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel.
I would say around 5:20 we should have our pregame show, because we're going to have quite a busy pregame to talk about here on 1480 KRAE. Nick Perotti, along with yours truly, and Chris Polton, we will be at the Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex to bring you all the excitement of the Capital Bowl between East and Central. Major League Baseball, only one game on the schedule, and the Motor City Kitty, no, I'm sorry, because I looked at Justin Verlander. He's no longer with Detroit. It's the Houston Astros. They will be in the Trop tonight to take on Tampa Bay, as the Rays broke through last night to extend and see another day. So it will be Game 4 of this best-of-5 ALDS. Astros leading 2-1. Yankees already in, so they're waiting the winner. And then a couple of games on tap for tomorrow. They'll go back to Cumberland, Georgia, where the Bravos will entertain St. Louis. That series not up at 2 games apiece. And if they're heading back to Los Angeles, that means the series is also not up at 2 games apiece, as the Nats broke through last night as they defeat the Dodgers, and that series 2-2 heading back to Chavez Ravine for tomorrow evening. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Alright, if you're a gamer, you know the world of gaming is full of amazing gear. Portable cannons, flying tanks, oh, like that one, mythic artifacts. But the most advanced tool in gaming today isn't even in the game. It's right in your hand. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel is purpose-built for gaming, created with pro gamers for gamers. What does that mean? It means it's formulated with ingredients that have been shown to improve accuracy, whoa, and alertness. And Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel tastes great too. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel even comes in a special can with a uniquely textured grip, so it's easy to refuel between respawns. The ones you're furiously trying to avoid? Hey, there we go. So next time you log online, gear up. Get the drink designed for gaming. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, we go right down the list here with our locals in action this past Friday night. Of course, Nick wasn't here yesterday, under the weather a little bit, so we PPD'd the show until today's, but we still get a chance to chat about what happened on Friday night. It's going to be quick on Cheyenne South. I mean, again, they went to Sheridan. Very few teams win at Homer Scott Field, and South again got punished by the Bronx. Another running clock situation.
Another blowout here in Class 4A. So, again, 56-0 in favor of Sheridan Bronx, the number 2 team in the land, at least excuse me, here in the state of Wyoming. 4A, again, 56-0. So Cheyenne South still looking for their first victory here in 2019.
Their best shot. And again,
I'd say they have a
lay
good
it
shot
on line. It's this weekend.
Yeah, they have a good shot against Laramie as they host Laramie there at Bison Stadium. So we'll see what happens in that contest. 6 o'clock will be the start time for
their
that
final
contest.
home game, as their last 2 games will be on the road, as they will be at Campbell County against the Camels. That's going to be a tough place to win. I think that you got to give the Camels their due. They're a little more improved than we give them credit for, and then they got to wrap up at Cheyenne Central.
I give them credit, again, without a doubt, for Campbell County.
They beat Laramie.
They are a team that is trending upwards. It's a small trend, but again, a team that is trying to get out of that bottom of the basement here in Class 4A without a doubt. They have, again, I think that, South, your only opportunities, I foresee them being competitive against Campbell County.
As well as Laramie.
And
you would
Laramie.
hope they're going to be competitive.
But, again, for their other contests at home, or at least they'll travel to Risky Field to see Cheyenne Central, I think that might get ugly as well for Cheyenne South. So for this team to go at least not winless in 2019, you got 2 games remaining that are good possibilities but not guaranteed.
And your best possibility to win, in our opinion, is this weekend. Cheyenne East was at Laramie.
It was a slow start, or at least for what we saw on the scoreboard. Reading that off for at least Friday's contest, it looked like it was a slow start for Cheyenne East. I do believe around 19 at half, 19-0 in favor of Cheyenne East, but then eventually walked away with a victory 33-0. So not a running clock, but you basically kept Laramie off the scoreboard in Laramie as well, too. So no surprise. Nothing we don't expect out of Cheyenne East to do against that Laramie squad that is, again, on the same vein as Cheyenne South. Issues with numbers. Again, team that is struggling here in 2019. It is no surprise.
Well, also to Mother Nature's credit, she also tried to interfere in a lot of games this weekend. If you think back to in Laramie, the wind blows there in the valley as well. Of course, we were at Casper Kelly Walsh. We watched a stiff flag all night long, and then driving home, especially when we got to Wheatland, and just as you get past Wheatland, they have those 2 markers, and I mean those things were just like just straight as an arrow. I mean that's how windy it was, and it stayed windy all night long, which again, I don't want to say because you saw Cheyenne Central not so much alter their offense, but they had a behind the wind passing game, and they had a into the wind passing game, but they used Carter Lobatos quite a bit at Casper Kelly Walsh.
Well, you didn't expect that at all. Where again, for Cheyenne Central, you do have that at least weapon with Lobatos where he can run it and find those open spaces on the field without a doubt. But yes, when they did try to throw with Dawson McCleary, had issues either underthrowing, overthrowing his targets, where again the wind could be a little bit a factor of trying to kind of judge arm strength, or at least where you want to, at least location on that ball. So did see at least a couple stints like that. Again, it was a pretty strong breeze out there. We saw, again, it's very unique when you can see a high school kicker make a 60-yard field goal. Granted, that was in at least warm-ups, but easily could have done that in game situation of just how strong that wind was when you at least had the ball going towards at least the northeast side of that field for Casper Kelly Walsh. So, but either way, though, the Indians come away with the victory. It was a close one, or at least it was a lot closer than what the final score dictated, 38-21. And Kelly Walsh was very competitive.
You have to give, as much as we saw what he did to South, you have to give Aaron McKelkey a little bit of prompts in that one, because he did exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to, again, there's about, a half dozen guys that go both ways for Cheyenne Central, but he did what he wanted to do. He used that ball control offense, and, they even threw the ball a lot more than they were known to do, but they used that ball control and kept the Central defense on the field. So as long as you don't have Dawson McCleary, Carter Lobatos, the Storbo twins, along with Talich and Andrew Johnson on the field, along with those that great offensive line, and I am going to give that offensive line a lot of props. They are gelling together at the right time. The bottom line is you kept that defense on the field, and that's, they eventually started to wear down.
Yeah, and without a doubt, yeah. You saw them get gassed out at many points in time in that game.
And also, too, what we saw with the Casper Kelly Walsh, we saw 3 different fullbacks that came into the contest. Anderson was one, Busky was the other. I can't remember who the third one was. But, these guys kept pounding the middle. Again, 3 yards in a cloud of dust with that flex bone offense. And then that would open up holes, for their other key runner who, matter of fact, on their first play, 64 yards?
Which, again, was that just flash of the pan play that Kelly Walsh, again, if Central lined up differently, or at least run on that play, I don't think we would have had that flash in the pan play, but, it is what it is. But Casper Kelly Walsh also to a team that is, again, I'll bluntly say it, is a team that is still undisciplined, at least
penalty-wise, absolutely.
Penalty-wise, that was the biggest issue. Again, we go back to that Cheyenne South contest where both teams were pretty much competing for making it seemed like a state or national kind of record for as many penalties combined in a game. It still crept up in this contest for Casper Kelly Walsh. Again, whether it was offsides, whether it was holding, again, there was a multitude, ineligible wide receiver downfield. It's a Kelly Walsh team that is clearly undisciplined right now to keep away from those penalties. And this is a team that, yes, is not going to go far this season if it does make to the postseason. Again, it's a team that right now sits on the fringe because, again, you look at head-to-head or at least tiebreaker. Laramie, who sits at 1 win, and again, obviously we still have plenty of games left remaining on that schedule, but Laramie does own the tiebreaker right now, the 1-1 at least schools, to basically kick out at least Kelly Walsh.
If Laramie win, and again, and I'm glad you brought that up, Nick, you look at Laramie's schedule, South, Sheridan, Thunder Basin. So the possibilities go 1 and 2. I mean, that's the easiest scenario.
So that puts them at 2 wins.
Kelly Walsh has Natrona in the Oil Bowl this weekend. They get Thunder Basin at Thunder Basin, and then they got Campbell County at home.
All right, so they have a possibility of going 1 and 2.
And 1 and 2, and then that would open the door for Laramie on the tiebreaker.
Yeah, Laramie has that tiebreaker, so again, the last 2 teams out that don't make it to the postseason, as it would stand, right now would be South and Casper Kelly Walsh if that does happen.
Because Campbell County holds the tiebreaker over Laramie.
Now, South can make it interesting if they are able to get the win against Laramie coming up this Friday, which hopefully they will, and they certainly have a good shot at it. That will kind of put at least a nice little chink in the armor, or at least, a nice little wedge in the, at least, cogwarts.
Into the playoff structure,
again, where this is going to be a complete mess coming up to determine who's going to be the last 2 out, who will not be competing in the postseason. But either way, again, Kelly Walsh, it's a team that has lots of issues. It's also to a young team, developing team under at least new head coach Aaron McKelkey. You wonder if what we're seeing out of Kelly Walsh is what we saw last year with Cheyenne Central of, yes, they'll go through the rough period here and now, learning the new offense, learning the new defense, learning how Coach McKelkey runs his team there at Casper Kelly Walsh, and then give them 2020 Casper Kelly Walsh. Team's older, a little wiser, familiar with the playbook, and that team might be at least a little bit more improved. Yeah. I think that could be a great possibility for the Trojans. I think it's a team that does have that
potential.
Again, I see a lot of parallels between them and Central where it could pay off in dividends coming up next season for them.
Speaking of Central, and we talked about this a little bit as well, too, even coming home. It's interesting that this Central East matchup on Friday has a lot of relevance this year. Before
it means seeding without a doubt.
Well, yeah, I mean, the winner is going to stay in the top 4, and the loser will remain at the number 5 spot. I mean, that's the bottom line. Yeah. If East wins, they stay in the top 4. Central's not going to drop. If Central wins, they flip-flop with East.
Yeah,
and that's all what's going to happen. Central comes in on a 4-game winning streak. Now, albeit Central has defeated in that 4-game winning span
Kelly Walsh.
Rock Springs, Campbell County, Laramie, Kelly Walsh. They're going to be really tested against East.
This is the first test for them, true test. They haven't seen in quite some time since at least hosting Sheridan, which, again, they were competitive against the Broncos, without a doubt. But, again, you had Sheridan coming down to your home turf to compete against you and dealing with that lightning delay as well. So we'll see. Again, Cheyenne Central, you're not traveling far. It's across town. It is a rivalry game. You know what's on the line, and a lot is to at least be played for here in this contest. Again, both teams know it. Both coaches know it as well, too, that this means it's no longer hand it to East in recent years. No, it's now Central has a legitimate shot of, quote-unquote, upsetting Cheyenne East on their home turf. I think without a doubt. I think that Central absolutely could be competitive in this game.
The only thing that really – and again, I know both coaches will kind of poo-poo it because they'll still do what they do, is the weather. I mean, it's going to be I would hope it's just going to be, if anything, cool no moisture. I hope this impending storm doesn't deliver, on Wednesday night and Thursday. I hope I hope not. But we know it's going to be a cold night.
Yeah.
And again,
it's going to take an extreme dip as well. We're going from mid 60s, 70s to about 20 degrees.
Yeah,
so it's going to play a big factor as well too in those players.
But these kids are used to that, and they know what the temperature is going to be like. However, catching a football, that's going to be like catching a rock.
Yeah.
Okay. The second part of that equation is your running backs, and you have two premier running backs in the state: Anderton for Cheyenne East and Lobatos for Cheyenne Central. I think these guys, and also, too, I'll throw Bohl in there because Bohl is not afraid to put it in the belly and take it out. McCleary's not that much of a runner. I mean, they're going to bank a lot on Lobatos.
Yeah, again, Central has made a living off that. They're going to go that route, and there's no need to at least rush or, let at least Dawson McCleary use his legs. That's not part of the playbook, and I don't expect that coming up this Friday. But who do you give an advantage on regarding rushing, but also, too, looking across the ball of defenses? And so far, what we've seen in 2019 is Cheyenne East. Again, it's a defense that has struggled against run. Look what happened with Cheyenne South, the team that just purely runs. They had struggle, at least for about for a quarter and a half, trying to wrap up. The biggest issue right now for Cheyenne East, outside of the penalties, which again, not knowing what they did against Laramie this past Friday, and we'll get a good indication coming up this Friday of if they've cleaned this up or if it's the same issues that kind of plagued this team. But on the defensive side for Cheyenne East, it's a defense that we've seen in a couple contests. They struggled to wrap up those runners, get those tackles. Were those flash of the plan, at least flash in the pan plays by opposing teams can happen against Cheyenne East.
Well, and also, too, and I'm glad you brought up the penalties, because on a night that is forecast for Friday night, that does challenge you, especially as you will commit a couple more penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, it's cold. You want to get off the field. You know what I'm saying? You want to get your job done and get out of there. But I have a feeling that we could see, a couple, three more mental mistakes. Like I said, I hope the weather, just holds off, because I have been really looking forward to this. I would say, a matter of fact, when we had Cheyenne Central, and I want to look back the week before we had Central, as they
hosted Laramie.
Yeah, as they punished Laramie. I felt this one against East was really going to mean something. And again,
we've known that for quite some time.
But I mean, the T-Birds. You look at the T-Birds' last 4 games. They've had 2 top dogs in there. They had Natrona. They also had in their Thunder Basin. While Central's been running off this 4-game win,
which equated to 2 losses for Cheyenne.
4 whole points.
Yeah.
4 whole points.
Again, it's an East team that is without a doubt competitive. But you look back into at least, especially in that Natrona County contest, miscues cost them that game. Penalties as well too affected a bit, but again, it is not. Cheyenne East is not an immortal team. They are clearly beatable.
I understand.
And for Cheyenne Central, you don't look at this team of it's you're taking down a giant here. No, this is a team that again, talent wise, might be a step above, just barely.
It has chinks in its armor, but also too, it is a team that was punishing Thunder Basin, and then they fell apart. Okay? I mean, mentally, they fell apart and gave that one away. And again, to Thunder Basin's credit, they're not a bad outfit. Then you look at Natrona, you can't spot
Natrona.
Natrona.
Not a bad outfit that they are still undefeated.
No, but they're living a charmed life. Let's be real.
Again, it's a Thunder Basin team that knows how to win games.
Oh, no, they know
how to win. Whatever shape or form, Thunder Basin knows how to get it done, clearly. And we go back to what happened this Friday as well, too, with Thunder Basin running into a lightning delay up there in Gillette, taking on Casper Natrona. They found a way to take care of business there with about 4 minutes left in that contest, once again coming from behind.
Yeah,
Thunder Basin, without a doubt, on all aspects, is a good team.
Yeah, they are, and I'm not going to take anything away from them. But what I'm saying is, you look at this weekend's contest, East can't spot Central points like they did against Casper Natrona.
No.
And they can't. If they do happen to pull ahead, by a couple of touchdowns, they got to keep the foot on the pedal.
Yeah.
They can't mentally check out like they did against Thunder Basin.
No.
And they did.
Well, and it's also, too, hopefully Cheyenne East, and not assuming, but it is something that would sit in the back of your mind, and obviously Coach Goff is going to reiterate of, you don't overlook this team. You don't overlook Cheyenne Central. This is not an easy game that you've had in years past, or what this rivalry has become due to the fact that, yes, talent has kind of shifted towards Cheyenne East, or at least Cheyenne East is now that dominant, at least figure here in Class 4A, including here in the city of Cheyenne. But it is something that hopefully Cheyenne East, a team that hasn't been known to do it, play down to their opponents, that they should be kind of whipping on. They've done that.
Right.
Again, if obviously we go back to Cheyenne South, where Cheyenne South, yes, it got to blowout situation later on in that contest, but Cheyenne South was very competitive in that game.
For their their early drives, but they didn't stop East.
But
East,
this is
8 straight drives they netted touchdowns.
Yeah, but again, we go from Cheyenne South to Cheyenne Central, a team that's on a 4-game winning streak, a whole lot to, again,
a little better program.
Yeah, a little bit more talented, at least on the football side of things, there for Cheyenne Central. This is a game where I don't expect anything less than this being extremely competitive, and it might come down to the point of who has the ball last in this game wins this contest.
It could be.
I could see either way of this is your coin flip of East could win this easily, Central could win this one as well.
Well, and it could be a Tegan Tippett's field goal or an Ox Schroeder field goal that might.
Well, and we'll see what the weather conditions as well too for wind. At least looking ahead, have noticed that winds could play a factor as well, again, coming up this weekend, so we'll see what happens there. Yes, obviously the weather of will there be remnants of rain, snow, what will the fields, at least conditions be like. Again, that's all to be determined of what happens with the storm system coming in. But
we shouldn't have a lightning delay. There we go.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyways,
no,
quickly just recapping rest of Class 4A, as again we mentioned Central getting the win, Cheyenne East winning, South losing again to at least Sheridan 56-0. As mentioned, Thunder Basin takes at least down Natrona County at Gillette. Thunder Basin wins that game 28-16. Again, that was a game that was in a lightning delay for a long time, but Thunder Basin does get that victory at home. And last but not least, in Class 4A, Rock Springs takes care of at least Campbell County 28-7. So that's just a quick rundown of Class 4A.
All right, we need to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk some college football without the Wyoming Cowboys in action this weekend. We're back after these words.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Be part of the first Innovations in Medical and Surgical Nursing Conference in Cheyenne on October 24th, 2019 at the LCCC Clay Pathfinder Building from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. This conference will cover topics such as new technologies, opioid use, pacemaker care, and more. We hope you will join us in October for the Innovations in Medical and Surgical Nursing Conference. Register today at CheyenneRegional.org/innovations. Sponsored by Cheyenne Regional Medical Center.
The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 73 and winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 40. On Wednesday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 63. And on Wednesday night, it'll be cloudy skies with snow showers likely with lows around 17.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Well, it's game week and exciting time for the Cowboys. We're getting ready to play the Aztecs. They're coached by a prince of a guy, Rocky Long, who spent 5 years here. Coach Long and I have known each other many years, and he enjoys a great national reputation. Both teams are 4-1. We utilize this bye week. We had 3 agendas. Number 1, to improve fundamentally on offense, defense, and in our kicking game. Number 2, work on San Diego State. I thought that was going to be important. And then the third thing is to get refreshed and get healthy. And I think we made progress on all 3 of those agenda items. Should be a heck of a ball game. When we look at San Diego State on tape, they have a very disruptive defense. Coach Long has always had a philosophy. There's gap control defense, which we play, and then there's a gap cancellation defense, which they play, and they're very disruptive at it, and they're very good. They've got some great players over there. Number 44, Tizino, I think, is an outstanding linebacker, and they have a whole host of guys. Now, offensively, big and strong up front, like you could expect with San Diego State. Quarterback is managing their offense well. They're able to run the football. They've got tight ends at the interchange. They're physical at the point of attack, and they've got a great wide receiver who carries the number 92, which is somewhat unique. And so a lot on the line. We're going to go on the road and play what we think is an excellent team. We had a couple games several years ago, and I know that's in the rearview mirror, but I thought they were great football games, and we're anticipating a great game out there in San Diego. So at this time, questions by anybody. Yes, Davis.
Update on your injured guys. Do you expect to have all those guys left?
We do. Yep. Update on your head cold. How's that doing? You're struggling. Okay. You're showing up. Appreciate that. No, we do anticipate to be at full strength, so we're excited about that. It's going to be the first time in a long time. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Coach, in some sports, they consider an extensive layoff to be a negative in the middle of the
Mm-hmm.
season. In football, do you find this as a positive to be able to have this break?
Well, I think it's really important if we accomplish the 3 agenda items that we talked about to move football teams forward. What's unique about football as opposed to other sports is a physical game, and the pounding does take an impact on guys, and you have a chance to get some guys back. Now, I can tell you teams do take steps backwards if they don't utilize that time wisely, and if they're lacking focus. And, there's an old saying, you never stay the same, you either get better or you get worse. We feel like we've gotten better as we head into game week. Yes?
Rocky said at Mountain West Media Days that they were going to implement some spread into his offense. Have you seen any of that at all in the tape?
Well, when I said they have 3 tight ends out there a lot, I was expecting 4 wides, empty backfield. Now they've got Rocky's not going to change. He is who he is. I love him to death. Yep. Other questions? Pretty quiet in here. Yes.
The Washington kid came back at running back. Did you watch much of the game against Colorado State and how he played?
Yeah, I watched him extensively, and they have a whole host of running backs back there, and big, strong offensive line. And so if you look at SDSU through the years, they've always had very capable runners, and many times they have more than just one. And what is unique is each one of those guys has a different style. And so you'll start to begin to track things on defense, and then they insert a different running back, and how they read and their pauses, and they'll run some zone schemes, which the guy's finding a spot, and he does a great job with that. Yes.
San Diego State's obviously number 2 in the nation in run defense. Gave up, I believe, 18 rushing yards at Colorado State. So
Correct.
What can you guys do to crack this tough defense?
Crack the toad. Well, as I said, they're a great gap cancellation team. They penetrate a lot. And those numbers that you just picked up on bear that out. Now, sometimes run defenses are a reflection of quarterback sacks as well. And so they've done a great job. You want to stay out of long yardage against them because they have a whole arsenal of stuff. But what's interesting is they'll call those different stunts and blitzes at any time. Yes, Davis.
The passing game is obviously something that you guys are focused on. Particularly with this game, as good as they are against the run. Is that especially important to try to be able to establish something through the air before they can't easily?
Right. Oh, I think that's certainly important. However, we've got to understand who we are as well. We think we've got a big, strong offensive line. Our guys are all going to be back, so we're excited about that. We need to be able to move the ball on the ground. It's not like we can just say, hey, we're going to do maximum protection and throw the ball vertically downfield. However, our percentages do need to improve. We need to stay on the field more and to be more balanced.
Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Capital Lumber is number 1 in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is number 1 today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. Looking for an IT company with friendly, local customer service and the expertise to handle any job? Then go with a name you trust, High West Digital Solutions, a High West energy company. We handle everything from business network management to personal computer problems to same-day phone and tablet repairs. Visit our website at hwds.com or call 307-245-4333 and speak to a real live human being, local, polite, and eager to help. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
B&B Appliance and TV has been your locally owned appliance store for 49 years. Not only do we offer several major brands, we also service what we sell. And we have the largest parts department in Laramie County. Next time you're in a big box store, just ask to see their parts and service department. Then come visit the appliance experts at B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be sunny with highs around 73 and winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 40. On Wednesday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 63. And on Wednesday night, it'll be cloudy skies with snow showers likely with lows around 17.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Still to come before we check on out of here today. We got some tickets to give away to the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo, which will be inside coming up Friday at the LCCC Rodeo Arena. So, again, we'll be doing that here in just a couple of moments real quick.
How about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Well, I know, but these are Fridays that you're giving tickets away.
No, how about these are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday
for the whole
tickets?
entire
Yeah.
weekend. All right, I apologize. You need to stop your little whiny attitude there, pal.
I'm not whining. It's simple where if you were, unlike you read it on our Facebook page of what our prize packs were given away today, tomorrow, and Thursday on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Again, it is a pair of tickets to go see the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo. That is happening. Again, tickets, pair of them, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday is where it will kick off at 7 o'clock both of those days. Sunday's action will start at 11 a.m. And then on top of that, we will give a pair of goodies to our friends, at least to go see our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Dale Range. So, again, thank you to all who have entered on the Facebook side of things for that. Again, we will give away a prize pack today, tomorrow, and Thursday.
And
here
the
on
good
show.
news, it's indoors this weekend. Real quick here, just updating the Mountain West over the weekend. If you missed out, Friday night, San Jose State beat New Mexico. Who cares? LSU punished Utah State. There's no surprise there. Boise State, no problems with UNLV. You thought they might struggle a little bit at Sam Boyd. They didn't.
No, I never said that. I said Boise should take care of business, but again, how big of a blowout, I have no idea with this Boise State team. But
Well-
there was no doubt that Boise State would not win that game.
Well, and yeah, I knew that they were going to not blow it either. I'm just saying how bad they were going to win.
Yeah,
I thought-
that's the only thing I didn't have confidence in is will they hit that spread
20,
point?
25 points. What was the
Okay,
spread?
I think it was like 20-something or
Okay.
22 or something like that.
All
But,
right, so
but
they-
either way, though, when they've had those large spreads, they've still found a way to at least play down to that competition. So Boise's still undefeated, but you know there was no doubt that they should not beat UNLV.
The shocker was Navy over Air Force. I'm just still I thought Air Force was a lot better, but
Air Force traveling across the country, it is a quote-unquote rivalry game, a lot on the line. No surprise there, or at least slight surprise. I thought Air Force should win that game, but at least Navy getting it done at home there in Annapolis. Not a major surprise, not in my mind an upset, so to speak. Again, I do believe Navy right now should have one loss as well, or.
yeah, they're 3-1.
Yeah,
And they're
should have-
3-0 in Annapolis. I
Yeah.
mean, they've only had one game off their field. And then the final contest, San Diego State, a couple touchdowns better than CSU at Canvas Stadium. This is not a powerful San Diego State team, but they are playing good defense right now. So, you know, it kind of makes up for an intriguing matchup with the Cowboys coming up on Saturday night in San Diego.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Again, without sizing up and not knowing a whole lot about San Diego State right now, what the Aztecs are doing, but again, you're talking about the defense of how staunch that it is right now, does pose some problems for the Wyoming Cowboys. Again, a team that is, for the most part, one-dimensional, and you know, obviously weather's not going to be a factor down there. It'd be a lot different if this game was happening in Laramie for the Cowboys, but at least in the warmer confines of San Diego, you know, the weather's not going to play an issue on this, but without even seeing the spread at this point,
3.5 for State.
I'd probably take that without a doubt. I think that San Diego State, I think, is just a little bit more talented. And again, at home, sure, why not? Aztecs find a way to win that contest. Again, it should be competitive, but I think it might be that defensive struggle between both teams. But it might be whoever has the ball last wins that contest. And, for whatever reason, I think San Diego State, you just give the advantage at home.
Whoever's left standing will win the ball game. Whoever has the ball.
I have no confidence in the Cowboys again.
In their passing.
In the wins that they've had, sure, you got the wins at this point in time, but against who? And it's something that these Bowl, at least now, as again, that's your quality win so far. But outside of it, you really haven't been tested. And you might argue that Tulsa was your test, but again, you lost to that team on the road. But so far, UNLV, not a test. Idaho, not a test. Texas State, not even close to being a test. So, and with those wins, nothing has really proved to me that this Cowboys, at least team, could get it done.
Well, now they're playing opponents.
Now you're getting into where you're in the thick of it of the Mountain West against teams that are legitimate.
And you can't be one-dimensional because you just load up the box and then basically you're going to hose yourself. All right, before we get into some more football, again, as we mentioned.
We need to talk, or at least just give score recaps for 2A and 1A as well, too, for our county teams as well to tell.
Burns as well as Pine Bluffs. Go ahead.
For in 2A action, Burns gets it done against Glen Rock over this past weekend, 49-20. I wouldn't say punish because the next game that we'll talk about in Class 1A, it was number 1 Bighorn taking on Pine Bluffs, where Bighorn wins 52-2. So the Hornets were not even competitive in that contest. Again, only getting the safety for the 2 points. So I just want to give that quick update that Burns gets the win. Fortunately, Pine, at least this rough season, continues on, again, as they get at least punished by Bighorn this past weekend.
And, I'm not trying to rush you, but we've got we haven't even gotten to the NFL yet, so let's get to – and I don't think we're going to be able to get to Coach Fangio's press conference, are we?
Not at this point.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's give away some tickets to this weekend's very special rodeo, the Sean Dubin Memorial Rodeo, inside the Laramie County Community College Rodeo Arena. You have a winner, and
I haven't had a winner.
You're going to dig into the bowl of awesomeness.
Yes, either way, again, thank you to all who have entered so far on the Facebook side of things at Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, it is simply just search that, or it's facebook.com/Wyoming Sports Talk. It is pinned at the top of that page of how you go by, at least where you like, comment, and share that post, and have 3 entries to win our prize packs that we're giving away 1 today, 2, at least another one tomorrow, and another one on Thursday of Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, the prize pack includes pair of tickets to go see the rodeo coming up this Friday, 7 p.m., Saturday action at 7 p.m. as well, and Sunday's action at 11 a.m. On top of the pair of tickets for the 3 days, you also, too, will have included goodies to go see our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Delrange and Windmill. So, again, thank you all who have entered so far. Again, if you do not win today, you have 2 more opportunities to win these prize packs. And, again, I will notify those who do win on Facebook of how you come by and pick up these tickets. So congratulations to one Donna Arnold. Donna Arnold, congratulations. You are our winner of the prize pack. You and a guest will be able to go attend the Sean Dubin Memorial Rodeo happening this weekend over at LCCC Arena. Again, I will message you on Facebook of how you come by, pick up your tickets, and go attend this weekend's events.
All right, congratulations to Donna and a guest to be our special guest. All right, let's talk to the NFL real quick. And again, a lot of quick things here. First off, the Broncos won. L.A. Chargers basically sucked. In Carson, California, can you believe how bad that the Chargers were? They were just – the Broncos weren't all that exciting.
It doesn't surprise
me. But they won.
Me. Chargers are not that team that we thought they were. They're not a playoff-bound team. They're a team that's going to be pretty much pathetic out in the rest of the 3 of the AFC West with Denver and Oakland, even though Oakland did win in London against the Chicago Bears. But, Chargers, doesn't surprise that they would lose at home. They're just as bad as the Broncos. Broncos, you finally got one. That's probably one of very few this season. That one equated to 500 wins in total of franchise history.
Right.
So there was a historic value for that contest. But other than that, though, positives for the Broncos, they're not a whole lot other than getting over the schneid of getting your first win on the season for Coach Fangio, his first as a head coach.
Right.
So you're over that hill, so to speak. But looking at that game for both teams, no one looked impressive.
It was brutal to watch that. Josh Allen returned, threw a couple touchdown passes against the ever-lovely Bungles.
which is no surprise there that at least Buffalo gets it done.
And he didn't look too bad in that win. Jay Gruden got the heave-ho in Washington after they were punished by the
Week
Pats.
5, kind of a rarity to see that happen, but yes, he is gone after the rough start that the Redskins have had.
Does John Gruden pick him up? Do you think he puts him on staff?
I don't know.
He's a good offensive mind, believe it or not.
Yeah, but I don't. That's a whole other discussion. I have no idea. Would Coach Gruden even care? I think he's focused on other things right now, being the head man there for Oakland. I wouldn't doubt that Jay finds some other spot, being an offensive coordinator, or maybe just slips on down to the NCAA ranks, at least collegiate, possibly. I don't know. There's opportunities for him out there, but again, he ran into a situation that he was a part of a bad Redskins franchise. This Washington team, this franchise of recent years has been a complete joke.
Right.
With even the off-field issues of the whole political nature of, with the Redskins name, dealing with that. And again, what they ran into this season wasn't so much of, personnel on the field, or at least drafting or signing or not signing the folks. Again, your big issue was last season when you lost Alex Smith. When that happened, pretty much said, yeah, your team's done. That was your only shot, and now you move forward. But again, no surprise. Again, Washington has not.
And you're throwing Colt McCoy, your third quarterback, into the mix here in that loss.
Washington's not doing anything this season. You might as well.
They're awful. Matter of fact, that whole that NFC East is awful. Yes, Dallas is starting to. They're starting to come back to reality all of a sudden, losing to New Orleans and losing to the Packers at home.
Two good teams. I think Packers showed this past Sunday that they're a legitimate team. On the road, getting it done.
That says they're not a good team.
They're going to be a playoff-bound team, and they might surprise. They might have to work out a few kinks, but I still think that Dallas, without a doubt, has talent. But, again, you're tested early on. Hopefully you learn by that history, and you figure out things to get it done in the playoffs. Not saying that Dallas is going to go far or represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, but it's still a team that's going to win that division. I don't expect them anything less. I don't think Philadelphia's going to sneak up on them. The Giants aren't. Washington's not. It's Dallas's division without a doubt.
Okay. New England remains spotless at 5-0. Kansas City fell from the unbeaten ranks as they were beaten by Indy on Sunday night.
I think Indy proves that they are a legit team.
Yeah, you know what? Brissett, not that bad. He's got the offense in gear. Then you go from the improving to the really ugly.
We didn't even talk about the Thursday night game as well.
Well, we'll get to that one here, but I want to go to last night's game where I'm impressed. I'm on board.
Glad you finally came around, because this team has been
let me say this.
It's kind of like what Richard Sherman had to say after that, at least post game, in his comments of saying, "Hey, you all that had us winning 3 games this year,
I did not have them winning 3 games.
I'm not saying you, but those critics out there that said, "Hey, this team's not doing anything." Well, guess what? Here we are. We stand 4-0. And a team that looked mightily impressive against a terrible, I'm going to say terrible Cleveland.
Cleveland's not good. But you know what, though? If you look at the AFC North, Niners got wins over Pittsburgh, the Bungles, and now Cleveland.
And their challenge will be against the Baltimore Ravens, without a doubt. And we'll see in that head-to-head. But for the 49ers so far, again, 4-0. Obviously, they had the bye last week. Team that at least Niners and at least New England, the two remaining undefeated right now in the NFL ranks. 49ers proved again last night of just how in dominating fashion at home in Monday Night Football against that Cleveland Brown team. This team's for real. This is a team that can without a doubt win the NFC West over a beatable Rams team. Against Seattle, I still don't want to give them that crown, but yes, that win on Thursday was impressive. You got it done. Yeah. Congrats to you at home on a Thursday night where anything and everything happens on these Thursday night kind of bore-fest games. But the 49ers prove, at least Monday night, that yes, they are a team that should be at least at the favorites of representing the NFC in the Super Bowl.
I like the Niners, and again, I like the defensive side. Nick Bosa, I think he's going to be better than his brother. I actually believe he will be. He's going to be good. He's more active.
He has the potential to be great, but we'll see.
And if you didn't hear, was his name Juszczyk? the fullback.
Mm-hmm.
He's out 4 to 6 weeks. He had a knee injury in last night's game. But the one thing I wanted to mention about Jimmy Garoppolo, and I saw this last night, Garoppolo is almost there in my book. He's a good passer, but he does remind me a lot, and you can see the New England influence in him in the pocket. He stands up straight and fires. He looks like a Brady. If you watch him throw the football, he throws it just like Tom Brady. If he can just get a little more, succinct on his passes, put it between the numbers.
That's going to come with time.
No, I'm just saying he's almost there.
Yeah, without a doubt. He's not one of the elites or the greatest right now. It's something for Jimmy G. What he's showed so far is he's got the talent, clearly. Does he need to perfect a few things, work on a few things? Yeah, without a doubt. Again, this is a guy who has now played or at least started in, 10, 11, 12
games, yeah.
Yeah, again, in his career. Yeah, he's got plenty of things to work on, but right now in the small sample size that you got out of this guy, especially in a 49er uniform, he's got talent.
Now,
this is a year where the Niners could absolutely do something special with the core that they have right now.
Oh, absolutely. And again, with the veteran Richard Sherman on the defensive side, he is your spark plug.
Who's definitely stepped it up this season without a doubt.
Absolutely. Now, the true test, this will be your litmus test. You're going to catch a Rams team in the Coliseum. Who has had your number as of late?
As of late, but again, a team that is very beatable right now.
Oh,
they're no longer that immortal top dog in the NFC.
Seattle showed us on Thursday night you can score on this team. You can also defense this team. But also, I think defensively, in my opinion, I think the Niners' defense is a lot better than Seattle's by far.
I think so.
So this will be a fun game to watch coming up on Sunday. I'm really looking forward to that. But the Niners looked really, really good last night. And you know what? The NFC West, if they get by the Rams, that obviously they'll be playing Seattle. But, yeah, this will be a playoff-bound team, whether they win the division or go in as a wild card.
I think that's just a guarantee at this point in time what this Niners team is and the talent that they have.
Nothing's a guarantee anymore.
Again, this is a team that is going to surprise a lot of folks where, again, I've been at least clearly high on them. And I said going into this season, if pieces stay healthy, what you saw in the stints last year, again, those last remaining weeks where, again, Jimmy G, or at least where
Nick Mullins was
when Mullins was at least doing his thing in replace of, Jimmy G out early in that season, had the talent at least there to showcase off what they could have done. And again, it's a Niners team that had a lot of injuries there in 2018. Now you got a fully healthy team, a talented team out there. This is a team that's going to, again, will they shock the world? Possibly. But it's a team that right now has the talent to do something very special here in 2019.
All right, we got coming up for you this evening, our Golden Age Radio Theater,